Today's video dedication is brought to you with thanks from Dan Kirch. Isshin versus Glen. 2-lander with a bunch of heavy stuff in hand. We'll mulligan that. Okay, that's... yeah, well, it's looking a lot better than the previous hand anyway. Traveller's Amulet on turn 1 can sacrifice it and search for a basic. We draw straight into the swamp that I threw back. Shocking the Godless Shrine, go for the Soul Ring on turn 1. They crack the Traveller's Amulet. Playing an island this turn, searching up an island. I'm assuming that they've got planes in hand. Drawing to a Chroma's Memorial, it'll just have to be a mountain to fix our colours. We can hold up Swords to Plowshares. Playing the island that they tutored up previously. I imagine they're just holding up counter magic here, so we'll try and get down the Mardu Ascendancy, I think. It can just be the Reflecting Pool. That came down straight away, so maybe don't have counter magic held up after all. And there we see the plains, so we can go for our commander and Swords to Plowshares next turn. Draw into Siege Dragon. So we'll play out Isshin Two Heavens as one, and then we'll Swords to Plowshares onto the Glen and see if they've got any counter magic. They do not. Soul Ring from our opponent can get their commander straight back into play again. And that's exactly what they do, still holding up that blue mana. As they launch the fleet for us, we need to get some more creatures into play first. Without any haste, it'll have to be a Chroma's Memorial, I think. And that will give all of our stuff Pro Red and Black, which isn't relevant here, Flying Haste, Trample, Vigilance, and First Strike. Deal the first bit of commander damage to our opponent. That will trigger the Mardu Ascendancy twice. So we'll get a couple of Goblin tokens in, tapped and attacking. So they can kill one of them off here. Deciding to leave both of them in play though, so can swing straight through our commander here. Drawing cards equal to the power, not having the best of luck in Voltroning up their commander here. They're going to need Indestructible, Hexproof, Shroud, Pro Red, something like that. Stormtide Leviathan, of course. Luckily we've got Flying thanks to the Chroma's Memorial. Drawing to a Triome, we'll play that this turn. And then go for the Siege Dragon here, I think. That'll be 4 damage to each creature without flying. So swinging with everything, seeing as how it has Vigilance, and triggering the Siege Dragon a couple of times, and then we end up with 4 Goblin tokens in, tapped and attacking. Don't get rid of the Stormtide Leviathan, but we do get rid of their commander for a second time. And that's enough to see the back of them. Yeah, a pretty unlucky showing from Glen. This is a really strong commander and we didn't see it here, unfortunately. So we'll try another game. Isshin versus Jensen, and that is... yeah, we need multiple colours to put into Painful Truths. So that's not going to be any good, I don't think. We'll mulligan into 3 mana, and even more mana with Goldspan Dragon and Curse of Opulence. Yeah, we'll keep that. Have to get rid of the Brimaz, unfortunately. Throw out a Triome on turn 1, I think we're going to be able to get down the Curse of Opulence next turn. We see a Training Grounds from our opponents, so their commander is now going to be 3 tap and make Wooburg. Get into a basic, so just throw that into play and curse them with the Curse of Opulence. We're on a perfect curve so far. If they can make the exact lands that they need, they can get down their commander and then tap it down for Wooburg on turn 3. So it might be worth holding off and going Anguished Unmaking onto their commander. And they do manage to make the colours for Jensen. Wonder if it's worth going after the Training Grounds instead, actually. Drawing to another land, play that, and we will go after the Training Grounds. Not on a terrible curve ourselves, we can still go for Isshin next turn and then Goldspan Dragon the turn after. Start making a lot of treasure tokens with Curse of Opulence. They play out a 3 visits. Jensen shocks us for 2, and that is a Sword of the Animist, not terrible. It's just our Isshin here though. Okay, and in response that is a Grisly Salvage, reveal the top 5. Put a creature or land into your hand and the rest on the bottom. They do get a Scry with Jensen, which isn't really useful with a Grisly Salvage. It was a Windswept Teeth that they decided to keep in hand there, so playing that straight away. They did throw away a Fusion Elemental, so might have a 5-drop that they can get out here. Joda the Unifier, that's quite the Wooburg commander to get into. So they do get a 4/4 Flying Angel for that. And swinging in at us with their now 4/4 commander. We draw into Path to Exile just in time, thankfully. So the Goldspan Dragon brings a treasure into play untapped. Let's play the Goldspan Dragon. And then just going to have to throw the Goldspan Dragon away here, I think, annoyingly. Yeah, let's go in for the attack. Curse of Opulence triggers twice, and Goldspan Dragon triggers twice. Alright, not blocking the Goldspan Dragon, they should really have done that there. So we'll crack a gold token, get rid of the Joda. Gonna let them untap with a land here because I really don't want them countering on their turn. And then we can crack a treasure token for 2 mana and play out the Sword of the Animist. Not gonna bother paying for that with the treasure token, we can always do it next turn. But I want the option of doing something big next turn if we manage to top deck into something decent. Another 5-drop now, that is a Last Stand. Target opponent loses 2 life for each swamp you control. Deals damage to a target creature equal to the number of mountains. A 1/1 sap for each forest, 2 life per plains, and a card for each island, then discard that many. So they have some lands in the bin now, a Chromat as well, 3 cards in hand. Made 3 Saprolings and dealt 2 damage to the Isshin, so not going to block their commander. We'll take 4 damage from the Angel. Adeline Resplendent Cathar, not quite as good in 1v1, but we'll play that out here and crack a treasure token because I'm going to keep swinging in with the Goldspan Dragon. Actually, no I'm not. We'll hold back a 5/5 and start blocking these Angels if we want to. Wow, they're really doing well in getting into all these Wooburg spells here. Two-Headed Hellkite is a really good one. They draw 2 cards off the back of this thing, so yeah, and I would trade them this, but it does have Menace unfortunately, so we'll have to block the Angel instead. Okay, Vanquish the Horde, that's pretty good, so let's do a bit of ramping here. We might as well attack him with everything if we're going to blow everything up anyway. So Curse of Opulence, making some gold for us. We're going to get a couple of basics with Sword of the Animist, 4 mana in total with Goldspan Dragon. It's actually going to be 2 mana because we'll likely lose our commander here. Adeline going to make a human and do that twice. Don't have too many basics left here, just get a plains and a mountain. Double blocking on the Goldspan Dragon and Saprolings trading our humans. Chump blocking the Adeline, we get 3 commander damage through. So Vanquish the Horde going to be 3 mana now and managing to successfully wipe the board. And that means that we can replay our commander here. Jensen Carthalion coming back into play again, 6 cards in hand over there. We've really struggled on card draw this game unfortunately. Okay, a Reconnaissance. So we can just swing straight through to our opponent here and put Sword of the Animist onto our commander. We might as well just swing in, ramp, and then untap with the Reconnaissance. We won't deal any damage to them, but we will have a blocker held back. So Curse of Opulence continuing to do work for us. And now they go for the Abzan Charm, so draw 2 and lose 2. That will allow them to scry first. Grab the last 2 basics from our library. Eladomri's Call from our opponent, and they've got 7 cards in hand, so just a matter of time here really. And that is the Biomancer's Familiar. Yeah, that's what they tutored up, so they can now put 3 mana into their commander. And that will make Wooburg for them. And of course, there aren't that many 5-colour spells, and our opponent's getting into all of them here. That is a Hell Rider, which, yeah, we haven't really done any damage to them. Our opponent hasn't really missed a beat this game. So we'll just get down the Hell Rider, turning sideways, and let our opponent get us next turn. Seeing Hell Rider trigger 4 times, we can see how good it is if we manage to keep any tokens in play or anything. But like I said, our opponent gets us on the swing back next turn, so we'll just leave it there and try another game. Isshin versus Rafine. A decent amount of mana with a Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we can keep that one. Draw into Reconnaissance, so we've got double white ready for a Brimaz next turn. Let's go Sol Ring into the Lightning Greaves. Rafine exiled a Mox Tantalite last turn, so that has 2 time counters left on it. And it is a Pearl Medallion for the Esper player. Vault of the Archangel, so yeah, we're going to need a different land if we want to play Isshin next turn. As for now, it is Brimaz. So with Haste and Shroud, we can now swing in and get ourselves into a Vigilance Cat. Rafine Scheming Seer into play. And Atali, Primal Storm, so drop the Vault of the Archangel. Not doing too well on colours here, it will have to be a Bruce Tal. Bruce Tal going to give the Cat Soldier token double strike. And then we can put Haste onto the Bruce Tal, take Shroud away from Brimaz. And not going to swing in with the Cat token because it'll just die to Rafine. When Bruce attacks, it can give double strike to the Brimaz. And Brimaz obviously making another cat token for us. Yeah, so I suppose I should have swung in with this cat token and we would have gained 2 life. Alright, not blocking with the Rafine anyway, so actually missed out on 2 damage there potentially. The Mox Tantalite comes into play, so that's an additional mana of any colour. Psychic Corrosion. And they swing in, going to Connive X. That means they draw a card. And we mill 2, getting rid of 2 lands for us. Which we could have done with if we want to play Isshin, but it's likely we're going for the Wheel of Fortune next turn. No plus counters on that, they just discard some lands. And that is a shiny Impetus. Do we get down the Reconnaissance here, or do we save mana? I think we're okay going for the Wheel of Fortune straight away without the Reconnaissance in play. So they draw 7, which means we mill 14. Hoping to beat them long before then, and didn't get into any lands unfortunately. Do get into a Mana Crypt at least. Cyclonic Rift goes on to the Brimaz. So we'll just Swords to Plowshares on their commander right now. Does have Ward 1, so we have to pay 2 for that. Now swing in with all of our stuff and get double strike on the cat. Another Mox in Mox Opal. And they do drop a land, 5 cards in hand. Anguished Unmaking went on to our Lightning Greaves, so that gets exiled. And then they recast their commander, so I think we're going for the Akroma's Memorial here. Managing to get into a land eventually. But yeah, I think we still go Akroma's Memorial here. We can keep swinging in and we can block their Rafine. And now we've got a decent number of creatures in hand that we can just throw down with haste and vigilance and all the rest of it. Does mean that the Bruce Tarl, bit of a non-bow here, but the Bruce Tarl can't target anything because everything has protection from red. But we do manage to knock our opponent down to 11. Urza's Incubator. And creature type name with that is Sphinx, so yeah, strange Sphinx tribal deck of some kind. Couple of plus counters on the Rafine now, by the way. And that allows them into Sphinx of Foresight. Swinging in with now a 4/7. Yeah, we can't kill that thing off, so we might as well just chump block it. They discarded an Aethersworn Sphinx. Finally, getting into these lands, we will make an untapped land here. And might be able to get my opponent here. Let's play the Isshin. And then it can be Akroma's Memorial here, I think. Let's swing in first and see if they can do something to us. Alright, they decide to block here. We could have given protection from all colours and gone straight through, but I wanted to see if they used any spot removal. I don't think they're going to, so we'll play Akroma's Memorial. And all our stuff will gain double strike, indestructible, and protection from all colours, as well as a bunch of keywords. And that lands pretty quickly, so double strike damage will take us through for lethal. Didn't manage to do too much with Isshin there. Not sure if this is still a popular commander or not, so you'll have to all let me know, and I'll obviously keep a very close eye on the views. If you want to see more from this one, then be sure to leave it a like, as that will help with YouTube's algorithms and push it through to other potential viewers. Massive thank you to the patrons for supporting the channel financially. You can do that yourself via the link in the description below. I'm Tribalkai. Thank you for watching.